This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So let me open the architecture part here. One second. The issue is with the website. Okay. So snowflake architecture. What happened to this? I think there is an issue with the website. Okay, let me open directly in the presentation. I thought I can show you that directly in the website. Okay. So the snowflake architecture is having 3 layers basically. So this is a common interview question actually in every interview the people are asking. So can you explain the architecture of the snowflake? Okay, it is basically consisting of 3 layers. One is a database storage layer, second one is virtual resource layer, and third one is cloud service layer. Okay, we'll talk about one by one. So database storage. Whenever you store some data in table in Snowflake, let's say we have employee table, you're trying to insert some data into that. Okay, now where exactly this data is being stored? See, whenever you create Snowflake account, backend, you have to choose the cloud provider. You have to choose the cloud provider, either AWS or Azure or GCP. Any of the cloud provider you have to choose. Okay, so they don't have any dedicated data centers. Snowflake doesn't have any dedicated data centers. They don't store their data in their own data centers, even if they have right now. Okay, what they are trying to do, they are storing the data in cloud provider's storage system. Cloud provider storage system is nothing but if you choose AWS as cloud provider, then what will happen? They'll try to store the data in S3 buckets. If you choose Azure as the cloud provider, then they'll try to store your data in blob, Azure blob. If you choose GCP as the cloud provider, then they will try to store your data in GCP bucket. Okay, so like what I meant to say is indirectly they are storing their data in cloud provider storage systems. Okay, they don't have any dedicated data center and they don't have any dedicated database, I can say. Okay, that we'll talk about later, a bit later. Okay, and at any point of time, you can increase the storage, you can decrease the storage. Decrease means if we delete the storage, indirectly we are decreasing the storage. Increasing means you can keep on storing the data. Nobody will stop you. You can store unlimited data here. The only thing is how much ever data you're storing, you need to pay for that one. That's it. As how many TBs of data you're storing. So based on that one only you have to pay. That's it. There is no limitation here. You have to store only 10 TB data, 20 TB data, only 100 TB data. There is no concept like that. You can store unlimited data. And Snowflake will not stop you to store that. Okay, so this is about data storage. And second one is virtual warehouse. So whenever you submit a query, let's say I'm trying to submit my query here. I'm trying to run a query like select star from EMP. Sorry, someone is asking, trying to ask something. Okay. So let's say I'm trying to run a query like select star from EMP. So this is the basic query I'm just showing you. Okay. Now what happened? Who has to run this query? See, somebody has to run this query in the backend, right? So even in the on-premise case, who is running your queries? Your system, right? Your server, right? Okay, here also you have to have some server, right, in place to execute these queries. That server or that hardware or that system is nothing but your virtual heroes. That system, the system which is used to run your queries is nothing but a virtual heroes. So in this layer, you're actually processing your data. I'll tell you what is the flow of execution later sometime. Okay, so at that time you'll understand it very clearly. But for now, what you guys can remember is this virtual warehouse layer is responsible to process your queries. Once you submit your queries to like Snowflake, and it will take that query and it will try to process it. Processing is nothing but what? It will try to go to this database storage layer and it will try to take the data from this database storage layer. That's it. That is nothing but processing. Okay. So here at any point of time, you can increase the storage. You can increase the hardware here. At any point of time, you can decrease the hardware. Okay. That means the scaling is possible here. In traditional databases, that is not possible. You cannot increase the hardware just like that. You have to add one more server and you have to connect them and you have to start using that one. But here it is not like that. At any point of time, you can increase any number of servers. So as per the documentation, they are saying the compute power is virtually unlimited.
Shiva.
Yeah. What?
This is Vijay. I have a question. Like when we increase the wa- the number of servers, does Snowflake replicates the metadata on different servers, or does does it replicates on the
Um,
new servers, or how does it work?
it replicates the servers only. Backend it tries to initiate the servers.
Yes, but okay.
Servers are
So,
nothing
but
but,
the
see what happened when you choose AWS as cloud provider. Backend
Mhm.
it is trying to take easy to notes. That's it.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
On,
So
on
that is
on-premise,
different actually.
on on-premise, we will be having the metadata on single server, right? So,
Yes.
whereas if we are increasing dynamically for
Hmm?
the servers, so does it
Ah,
replicates the metadata and then executes it? How, or does
okay, I got your question. Yeah.
yeah,
See, we don't store our data in virtual aerosystems. Sir. This server is useful only to execute your queries. That's it. It doesn't store any data, even a single character. So this system, this hardware is used to execute purely to execute your queries. That's it. You're actually storing your data in the database storage layer that is in AWS S3 buckets or Azure blobs or GCP buckets. So this is different and this is different. That's what I'm going to tell you in some time.
okay.
So these two layers are completely decoupled here, and you're not storing any information in the virtual aerosystems, and you're managing everything in the cloud service layer and in database storage layer. That's it. These two are the main important. This is purely to process your data. That's it. And these two are completely decoupled actually. And at any point of time, you can increase the hardware. That doesn't mean that you're increasing the storage. No. At any point of time, you can increase the database storage. That doesn't mean that you're increasing the hardware here. But in case of on-premise, what happens? If the hardware is not sufficient, then what people will do? They will try to add one more server to that one. That means you're adding the hardware. That means you're increasing. If you're adding server, means you're adding storage also there. But here it is not like that. Both are completely decoupled. That is the main difference between the on-premise databases and the Snowflake database. Here, compute power and storage are both are decoupled here. But whereas in traditional databases, they are like tightly coupled. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is cloud service layer. So this is actually your front end. Front end is nothing but whatever the interface you're able to see right here, right? This is nothing but your cloud. This will be maintained by your cloud service layer. Okay, in cloud service layer, we have actually this many number of services: authentication and access control. Let's say I'm trying to log out from here. Okay, this is the Snowflake account actually. I'm trying to log out from here. Okay. Now, once you log out, you have to log in into this account, right? So for that, you're trying to enter your username and password, right? You're trying to use classic console here, and you're trying to enter here username and password. See, admin is my username and password something I've given here. Okay, so somebody has to authenticate this one, right? Username and password are correct. So somebody has to validate it right in the backend. So that validation can be taken care by this authentication and access control service. This is one of the service in like I can say Snowflake. Okay, and next one is infrastructure manager. Sorry, infrastructure manager. So back and see, like when I say database storage, back end you're storing your data in S3 buckets. Okay, so somebody has to initiate this S3 buckets right in the backend. I mean, to execute. One second, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this S3 bucket, it has to create in the backend S3 buckets, and it has to store this data. Okay, that means backend S3 is a service separately. Okay, and if you try to increase the hardware, backend it has to like initiate a few more EC2 nodes indirectly. So EC2 node is also one of the service in AWS. I'm talking with respect to AWS here. Okay, you can like you can assume the same terminology in Azure as well and in GCP as well. I'm talking with respect to AWS. S3 is a service of AWS. EC2 node is a service of AWS. Okay, so those things can be managed by infrastructure manager. Okay, our next one is optimizer. So once you submit your query, whether it is syntactically correct or not, whether this particular user is having to that particular query or not, at table or not, and how long this query may take. Okay, so that planning will be taken care by optimizer. The entire query planning will be taken care by optimizer. And the next one is metadata manager. You're actually storing all your metadata related to your Snowflake in this service. So metadata manager is, that means we are storing some metadata, right? Backend it has to store somewhere, right? Okay, so for that they have tied up with one more database, that is FDB, foundation database. Okay, so they will try to store the data in FDB. We'll talk about that one later. Okay, and the last one is security. Security is nothing but similar to other traditional databases. We can create here users and roles and also all those things. Any number of users you can create here. Any number of roles you can create and you can assign it to the users. So this layer also, at any point of time, you can increase, you can scale. I mean, any number of users you can create, any number of users you can delete, and you can play around it. Okay. So finally, what I wanted to conclude here is all these three layers are independent to each other. Okay, at any point of time, you can increase or you can scale all these 3 layers separately. There is no dependency here. Why? Because this service is different, this service is different, this service is different. Okay, got it? Any questions here before I start explaining about the account creation?
Yes. What do we call this virtual warehouse service in real time?
The virtual warehouse service, what we call EC2
Yeah.
nodes.
Okay.
In AWS terminology, we have to call it as EC2 nodes.
And
In
database
Azure
storage are like
terminology, we call
S3
it as
buckets, right?
sorry.
And database storage are like S3 buckets, correct?
Yes, S3 bucket, correct. S3 if you talk in terms of AWS, but if you
Okay.
talk
Yes.
same thing in
Correct.
terms of Azure, we have to call it as blobs. But anyway, they don't give you access to see the data in S3 buckets, sir.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give you access to blobs, and they don't give you access to S3.
Okay. And the only interface we use is like the top
Snowflake
one.
front end. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Okay. So how they're storing their data? That is their headache. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, we just need to query the data. That's it. Other than that, we don't need to take care of anything. We don't need to worry about all other maintenance activities. Okay, so this is the architecture. Okay, I'll directly jump into the account creation topic. Okay, and today I'll try to show you how to create Snowflake account and how we can connect that account with the different clients, and those things we'll try to show. Okay. So for that, for creating Snowflake account, you need to have one Gmail account first. Okay. With that Gmail account, you can create three times Snowflake account. Okay, once that is expired, you can create same. You can use same Gmail ID and you can create one more Snowflake account. So okay, let me open that in the documentation here. Okay, for creating the account, you need to search like this. Okay, so signup.snowflake.com. Signup.snowflake. Yeah. So this is the site you have to visit. Okay, signup.snowflake. This is the URL you have to click on to create this Snowflake account. Okay, I'm just clicking on this one. So they've changed the URL recently actually. So earlier it was like trial.snowflake.com. Now they've changed it to signup.snowflake.com. Like 6 months back, they yeah. See here. So start your 30 days free trial. They have not updated this documentation actually. They are giving not 30 days, sir. They are giving 60 days almost free trial account. Okay. I've created this account very recently. See, still I have like 30 days left trial period. So I got almost like 50 days trial period, I think. Okay, you can use this trial period up to 2 months. Up to 2 months. Or if you're trying to use, if you start like using like Snowflake, if you're trying to like use your Snowflake like left and right, okay, it will consume some credits, right? So you can use up to 400 worth of credits. That's it. $400 worth of credits you can use max to max. Then after that, your Snowflake account will be suspended automatically. Suspended means it will ask you, okay, so you want to continue with the free account, or you wanted to add your credit card and go with your account. So if you don't want to continue with your credit card, right, then you can like the account will be suspended automatically. Okay, so whichever you reaches early, either you're reaching $400 worth of credits early, or you're using 60 days trial period. Whichever is early, then based on that one only they'll try to suspend. Okay, so Snowflake will not ask you for any credit card information, sir, like your AWS account and Azure account. Okay, you don't need to give any credit card and debit card information. It's a free account you can create. And one beautiful thing with Snowflake is trial account is whatever the features or components you're going to use in a production environment, all those components are accessible with the free trial account. You can do like you can play around all those features. Okay, there is no concept like since you have created trial account, you have to use only these features, or you have to use only these services. There is no concept like that. So if you create AWS account or Azure account, so only few services are free. So some services are like chargeable, but here it is not like that. Here it is not like that. So everything is free. Free in the sense like you can taste all the features of the Snowflake within this trial period. Okay, so here you need to enter your first name and last name. Let's say I'm trying to give here like Siva. Okay, and my last name I'm just giving Kumar, and you can give any email ID here. Okay, so let's say I'm trying to use here snowflake.bath6 email ID I'm trying to use here. Okay, I'll try to create one dummy account. So snowflake dot bath6@gmail.com. So long time I've created Snowflake account with this email ID. Now I'm trying to use the same email ID to create account, free account. Okay, and the company you don't need to mention anything. You can give any dummy name here, no problem. XYZ or ABC, anything you can give. And next one. So you have to select the region. You have to directly it is asking region. One second, yes, please. Yes. So actually, it will ask you to choose the cloud provider. Okay, okay. Let me try to select here the region here first, and later we'll try to see about it. Okay, let's say I'm trying to select what is the nearest region to us here out of all these regions. Let's say I'm trying to select India. Okay, so now I don't want to receive any updates regarding Snowflake products and services and all. I'm trying to select this check mark here. Click on continue. Yeah, now it is asking. So here, choose your Snowflake edition. Choose your Snowflake edition. Here you can see 3 editions. We have 4 editions actually. One is standard, enterprise, business critical, and VPS, virtual private service. One more edition that is not free. So Snowflake is not providing any free trial account with VPS. That is the reason why it is not showing that account. Okay, so in order to create that account, you have to contact Snowflake people so that they will create an account on behalf of you. So that is real-time account that we don't create it here. Okay, so now what is the use of this standard edition? So with standard edition, you will get only limited features, sir. Very limited features. Okay, so I don't recommend this edition actually. Okay. So my recommendation is either you go with enterprise edition or business critical edition. Okay. What is the advantage of enterprise edition? So along with the standard features, you'll get these features as well. So standard plus 90 days time travel. This is one of the feature in Snowflake. You'll get this feature. Here you'll be having only 1 day time travel, sir, in standard edition. That is the reason why I'm not recommending this. Only 1 day time travel. But here you will get 90 days time travel and multi-clustering warehouses. So that is also one of the feature in Snowflake that we will not get in standard. Okay, but we can get it in enterprise edition and materialized views. Materialized views you cannot create in standard edition. So either you can choose enterprise edition or business critical edition. So both are same actually, enterprise and business critical. The only difference is data governance. Data governance is nothing but so PCI complaints, HIPAA complaints, all those complaints activities we can do in business critical editions. Data security, I can say, in terms of in your language. Okay. Now for now, I'm selecting business critical. You can choose enterprise also, no problem. No problem at all. Okay. So try to use business critical edition so that you'll get data security part as well. Okay. I'm selecting business critical only. Okay. Next, sir. So you wanted to create this account with Azure or AWS or GCP. Okay. Snowflake is compatible only with these three public clouds. Only with these three public clouds. Earlier, initial days, like they used to deploy their services only in AWS when they came into market. Okay. Now they are deploying their services in Azure and GCP as well. Any of the cloud you can use. Okay, I'm pretty much comfortable with AWS. I'm selecting AWS on. Okay, now I'm selecting, okay, in AWS, in which region you wanted to deploy the service? In which region you wanted to deploy the service? So by default, it is showing Singapore region. So earlier, it used to show Asia Pacific Mumbai region also. Now it is not showing actually. I don't know what is the reason for that. Okay, the nearest region for us is Singapore region. Try to select always like nearest region to us. I'll tell you what is the reason for that one later. After 2 to 3 classes, I will explain that. Okay, so you always have to select nearest region to us. Even in real time also, they will try to select nearest region only because of the latency. Because of the latency. Okay, so I am selecting Singapore region. So if you think that any of the okay Asia Pacific Mumbai region it is showing okay. Last time we did not show the Mumbai region. Okay, let me try to select Mumbai region. So I can select Mumbai region directly instead of Singapore. Okay, now I'm selecting Mumbai region and just click on if you want to like you have to agree the terms and conditions here. Just click on that one and get started. Okay. See, it is trying to create an account here. Okay. So this Snowflake is purely URL based. Cloud based, I can say URL based. Cloud based is nothing but URL based. Okay. You don't need to have any special configuration in your laptop or system. Okay. Even 4 GB RAM works for you. Why? Because you're going to run all those queries in cloud only, not in your system. Not in your system. Only good internet is required. That's it. To connect to that particular Snowflake cloud. Okay, you don't need to have any special configurations like only it is compatible only with the i5 processor and you have to have 8 GB processor mandate 8 GB RAM mandatorily. We don't have such concept here. It is purely cloud based. Okay, now you are now signed up. That means account has been created here. Okay, and I will get an email communication email to my email ID. Let me try to open this email here. So Let's try to select this. Yeah, this is the one. So let me refresh this. I will get confirmation email. Yes, this is the one. Activate your Snowflake account. Okay, just click on that. See here, what they are trying to say here. Congratulations on taking the first step to become a data-driven organization by signing up for Snowflake. Okay, click the button, click the below button to activate your account. Okay, my account is not yet activated. Not yet activated. You have just created an account. That's it. That is not yet activated. So for activation, you need to click on here. Click to activate. Okay, so just click on this. It will redirect you to the URL part, your Snowflake account. See, this is my Snowflake account actually. Okay, so welcome to Snowflake, Kumar. So please choose username and password to get started. So I have to select username and password here. Okay, so generally you try to give your name here. For now, what I'm trying to give is I'm giving my name as admin. So this is my main account. I'm trying to give admin, or I can give my name also. No problem. No problem at all. So I'm giving Shiva. Okay, and it is asking you to choose the password here. Choose the password. Okay, you must be your password must be 8 to 256 characters, and it should contain at least one number and one zero special characters and one uppercase. Now what I'm trying to give is I'm trying to give here welcome 123 as my password. So W as capital. Why? Because one uppercase is mandatory here. So welcome 123 I'm giving here. Any password you can give. Welcome 123. No at the rate, no hash symbol, nothing. Directly welcome 123. What happened here? Yeah. So it is accepting the same password. I need to re-enter here. So welcome 123. Okay. I just need to click on this. Sign up. See, your account creation is in progress. Yes, got created successfully, and it is trying to log in here. So I'm just trying to save my password here. See, it is again asking you to enter the username and password. Anyway, I've saved it, right? So I can directly click on sign in. So first time when you create account, right? So the UI looks like this actually. Okay. Recently, very recently, they have updated their UI like this. Okay. Earlier, we used to have, see here, oh, trial account, they have given 38 days now. For my old account, I got like 50 days. Okay. Now they have given 38. Is it old account or what? 1 second. I just see my old account also here. That is WV27269. Here I have, I think I logged into different account. Okay, let me try to use classic console here. This is different. HQ. See here, this is different. HQ70018. Okay, just sign in here. Just sign in here. See here, I'll tell you what is the difference between this web interface and this one. So this is the old web interface actually. So people are still using this web interface only mostly. Even we are also in our project also we are using this interface only maximum. This is very flexible thing and very easy thing actually. Web interface. This is also very easy one, but we are not habituated to this interface. Okay, what you need to do is you just need to click on these worksheets and you can start writing your queries. You can start writing your queries. Like click on new worksheet and you can start writing your queries here. Okay, so this is also okay, and this is also okay. You can use any of the thing, either this interface or this interface. Both are same. Ultimately, both are talking to your account. Both interfaces are talking to your account. Okay, now I'll try to explain what are all these icons. Okay, and what is the use of each and every icon here. Okay, once you create an account, You can see left side, these are all the databases. These are all the databases. Okay. So you know the hierarchy, right? In traditional databases as well. You create generally database. Under the database, you can have schemas. These are all the schemas actually. Okay. Let's say I'll try to open this. These are all the data. This is the database, and these are all the schemas. Inside the schema, you can see tables and views. Currently, they have given only tables. This is a sample database they will try to give us with a free account. Okay. If at all, if you want to play around this data, right, you can do it. Okay. You can query these tables and you can like start playing with this. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I'll try to query the data from this table. Okay. So for querying the data, so you don't need to type it actually. What you can do is just put a mouse on your table, and right side you can see three dots. Okay, just click on that one, place name in sequence, so that you'll get your table in worksheet. Okay, so what we need to do is you just need to add here select star. That's it. Okay, you can start executing your queries like this. So actually this is very big table. Yeah, 1,50,000 to 50,000 records are there. In real time, you have to use here limit condition. So limit 100. Okay, always best practice is to use limit condition. See, since it is having only 1,50,000 records, it is okay, sir. But if it is having millions of records, if you try to do select star from this one, what will happen? It will take more time. It will take more time. You will get more billing. So never ever select any table directly with the table name. So try to use always limit condition at the end. Okay, got it. Okay, so we'll see that best practices later, not at this moment. So this is the way of querying your data. Okay, you can create views also. Views will be shown here. Okay, now, so coming to this one by one icon, I'll try to explain here. So this is the first icon, databases. Okay, where you can manage your databases. If at all, if you want to create any new database, right, you can just click on this create new database, and you can start giving your name here, and you can start like creating the database. Or if you don't want to create the database with web interface, right, you can take the SQL part as well here. Okay, currently I need to give the database. Let's say I'm trying to give sample underscore DB. Okay, so comment I'm not giving anything. You can click on show SQL also here. See what it is trying to execute in the backend. Create database. Backend this query will be executed, and it will try to create a database. Okay, so we don't do any activity with the web interface here. We don't create any object with the web interface. Okay, we always have to use SQL commands only, so that we'll get good practice with that. Okay, so I'm just clicking on close here and clicking on cancel. I'm not creating any database here. And you can, if at all, if you want to clone your database, you can do that. And if at all, if you want to drop the database, you can drop the database. And if you want to transfer the ownership, and you can transfer the ownership to other users. So you can do some activities. And if you click on this database, right, and the lists of tables in that particular database, irrespective of the schema, you can okay, all these tables, irrespective of the schema, you can able to see all these tables in this particular database. Okay, you can see this. And these are only tables actually. Views also you can see. Currently, no views are created. I think some views are there here. The information schema. So that is the reason it is showing these things. Okay, and it is showing schemas. What are all these schemas you have in this particular database? And what are all these stage areas it is having? Currently, we don't have any stage areas here. Okay, any file formats created in this database? No. Any sequences created in this database? No. Any pipes created in these databases? No. So all these chained objects you can able to see here. That's what I mean to say here. These are all the chained objects of the database. Okay, under database, you can create table. Indirectly, you have to create a schema. Inside that schema, you have to create a table. You cannot directly create the table under database. That is not possible. You have to have schema in place to create the table. Okay, so under database, you have schema. Under schema, you have tables. tables and all other components. Okay. Okay. So let me go back here. I'm just clicking on databases. No other options are there here. Okay. I'm just moving on to the shares. Next icon. So you have your, let's say I have one table in my Snowflake account. Can you please explain what are the sequences and pipes? That I'll explain it later, so not at this point. I'm just giving you high level overview here. So we have dedicated time and topic to explain those topics. You fine? Yeah. Okay. So next one is shares. Let's say I have one table in my account. I wanted to share the table data to other users, other Snowflake accounts, I can say. Then you have to use shares concept in Snowflake. So to share that particular table or data, then you have to click on the shares icon, and you have to start creating your shares from here. Okay, you have table in your account. If you want to share that data to other Snowflake account, I can say, for sharing your data directly to others. So that we call it as a data sharing. So if at all, if you want to do that activity, you have to use this icon. I'll clarify all your questions at the end of the session, sir. Don't worry. Don't ask me any question right now related to course content. I'll explain that. Don't worry. I'll answer all your questions. Every question I'll try to answer. So people will will get distraction from this concept, whatever I'm explaining. Okay. So give me some time. Once this is done, I'll try to give you something. So that is nothing but shares. And next, marketplace. So for your business, you need some third-party data. Third-party provider is there. A data provider is there. You wanted to get the data from the third-party provider. What you can do is you can select this marketplace and you can start shopping your data. Let's say if I click on Explore Snowflake Marketplace, many vendors are there here. Actually, many data vendors are there. You can purchase, you can buy your data from these vendors. Okay, let's say we have weather information. These are all the vendors actually, data providers, I can say. Vendors are data providers. Let's say you want weather information. You need that information for your business. You need that information for your business. Okay, so you need to come here and you need to choose here who is providing that weather information, which provider is providing that weather information. Okay, so you need to contact those people. Let's say I've selected weather here, and these people are providing weather information. AccuWeather and Weather Source LLC. These people are providing that information, and these people. Okay, and you can contact directly those people, and you can create an account with them. Okay, and you can start like taking the data from them. So Snowflake is providing that facility here, and they're trying to like group all these kind of data people. They're trying to like accommodate all these people at one place. That is what we call it as data marketplace. I'll just go back here. That is what we call it as data marketplace. Okay, and next one is warehouses. I told you, right? If at all, if you want to execute any query, let's say select star from EMP, if you want to execute that. So I told you, right, backend, we have to have some hardware to execute that query. That hardware is nothing but your virtual warehouse. That is nothing but your warehouse. So that warehouses you can manage through this icon. So once I click on these warehouses, see it is trying to give all the warehouses that are there in my account. So currently, whenever you create free account, by default they will try to give this account. So this warehouse, that is compute underscore warehouse. You can create any number of warehouses here. You can start creating any number of warehouses here. There is no limit on that. Okay, I'm just canceling this one, and you can manage your warehouses from here. You want to modify any of the properties in the warehouse, you can manage that one. If you want to suspend that one, if you want to resume that one, I'll tell you what are the meaning of these things later. And if at all, if you want to drop any warehouse, you can drop it. If you want to transfer the ownership to other users, you can do that. You can manage all your warehouse related activities from through this icon. Okay, and next one is worksheets. 90% of your work we are going to do from here. 90% of the work. See, Snowflake is nothing but what this is a cloud database. That means you are going to write your queries. All your queries you are going to write in the worksheet only. You can create any number of worksheets here, or you can start executing your queries. Okay, so you can delete them. You can create them. You do whatever you want here. Okay, so here. Along with the worksheet, you can see here, this we call it as context. We call it as context. Here you can select the role actually. What role you wanted to use to execute this particular query? That is nothing but this. This is the role. You have to select before execute any of the query. You have to select the role. This is mandatory. Okay. And you wanted to submit this query to which warehouse? What hardware you wanted to which hardware you wanted to give this query? That hardware also you have to select. Hardware is nothing but a warehouse. Okay, and from which database you wanted to execute the queries, that you can select here. Let's say I'm trying to select Snowflake sample data. Okay, and you have to select its corresponding schema as well. So let's say I'm trying to select the schema TPCH-SF1. Okay, so this is nothing but your context. You have to select all these properties. It's not mandatory to select the database and schema, but you have to select these two things mandatory. Okay, if you don't select this one and this one, you have to provide here fully qualified name. If I select simply these two things, right, I don't need to give any fully qualified name here. I can directly write command like this: select star from customer. Customer table from which database and which schema? That's what we are trying to give here. It is from which database and which schema. If you don't select that one, you have to give that. Okay, let me try to remove this. Okay, let's say I'm trying to select another. I'm trying to open another worksheet here. So account admin and compute virus both are selected. Currently, I did not select any database and schema. Okay, what I'll do is I'll try to execute the same query as it is here. Now, what it will do? Customer table from which database? Okay, let me try to execute this command. You control enter, or you can click on run. You can click on this run icon also, no problem. Okay, see here, the object customer does not exist or not authorized. That means it is not able to find this table. So we have to select the database and schema. So if at all, if you want to use the names like this, or if you don't want to use like this, right, you have to use fully qualified name. Database name dot schema name dot table name. The best practice is always try to use fully qualified names. That is best practice. That is not mandatory, but that is best practice. Okay. And next, that is about worksheet section. Okay. And next, once you execute these queries, how long that query ran, which warehouse ran, which user ran, and what is the session ID, what is the query ID. If at all, if you want to know that information, you have to click on this history tab, history icon. Okay, so once I click on that one, see, I ran just now select star from customer. So it was failed, right? It was not able to give me the data, right? So you're getting into mark here, cross mark here with red color. So this is the query. This is the query ID. So for each and every query, it will try to give us query ID. So this is the query ID. This is the unique value in your account actually. For every query execution, you get query ID. Okay. So this is the query I executed, and I am the user who executed that query. And compute warehouse I used to execute that query. And what is the cluster size? And what is the session ID for that one? And what is the start? At what time it has started actually? Okay, at what time it has ended? And how much it took? 13 milliseconds. So how much memory it has scanned to get the data? So here 10.2 MB. Okay, and what is the client? So from where you have executed that? From Snowflake I have executed that. From Snowflake web interface UI. See, it is clearly giving UI is user interface. So that information you can get it from history. So we are going to use this history tab frequently. No worries about this. Will try to see more about this history tab. Okay. Our next icon is account. You can see this icon only if you try to select account admin role here. Okay. And before that, before I explain this icon, I'll try to explain what is this. So this is your username. This is your username actually. That is Shiva. Under username, you can see account admin. This is the role. This is the role. Okay. So in Snowflake, with Snowflake free trial account, they're trying to give all these roles: account admin, organization admin, public, security admin, sys admin, user admin, all those things. So by default, the user is the user is assigned with this particular role, account admin role. By default, this is the default role actually for this particular user, I can say. Okay, so all account admin is the super role actually. This role can control, can access any of the object in this account. Account admin is the super role. Okay, so with this role, you can do anything in the account. You can manage anything in the account. Okay, so we'll see about these roles and all. Okay, let me try to explain high level. Organization admin is nothing but if you have multiple accounts in your organization, you can manage all those accounts through to org admin. Okay, and next one is public. Public is nothing but this is the default role actually. This is the default role. If you don't assign any role to the user, by default, Snowflake will try to take the public role and it will try to create the user. Okay, so once you create any object through this user, right, that is accessible to all the users in the account. Okay, but we never create any object with public role. We never create it, and we never access any of the object through public role. Okay, I'll tell you where to what role we have to use later. And next one is security admin. Security related aspects we have to manage through security admin role on. And next one is sysadmin. Okay, system admin. So this is the role mostly we will use to create the objects. Mostly 99% we use this role. Okay, so next one is user admin. So where you can manage users and their passwords and roles with user admin role. So every role is having its own purpose actually. We'll try to see whenever we get the its corresponding topic. Okay. So currently I'm trying to use account admin role only, or you can use sysadmin role. For now I'm trying to use account admin role. But we never use account admin role to create the object. Never ever use that. I'll tell you why we are not supposed to use this account admin role later in the next class. Okay. So if you select account admin role, then only you'll be able to see account here, account icon here. Okay, either you have to select account admin or security admin. Only for these two roles you can able to see this icon. If you select this admin, see here, you'll not be able to see the icon, account icon. Why? Because security admin and account admin will try to manage the accounts action. See here, can you see this account icon here? No. Why? Because I've selected this sysadmin role here, not the account admin. If you try to select account admin role or security admin role, then you'll be able to see this icon. Why? Because through this account icon, you can manage the things. You can manage admin activities, I can say. Manage admin activities. Let's say I'm trying to select account here. See here, billing, usage, billing, users, roles, policies, sessions, resource monitors, reader account. All these are admin activities. All these admin activities can be managed through this account icon. Okay, so that is the reason why whenever you select account admin, you can able to see this account icon. Okay, so this will be activated, or this icon you can able to see only with the account admin and security admin roles. Okay, next, partner connector. So do you know why Snowflake has become very popular nowadays? The only reason is integration. It can integrate with any of the tool which is available in the market. 90% of the ETL tools are compatible with Snowflake. If I select partner connect here, so they're showing only limited partners here. But if you see the documentation, you can see many number of partners. Okay, for ETL, some partners are there. For data catalog, some partners are there. For managing data governance, some partners are there. For reporting purpose, some partners are there. Whatnot, mostly whatever the tools are available in the market, right? Like with almost all the ETL tools, all the reporting tools, all the other tools, they try to they're trying they are able to connect. They can talk, I can say. Okay, so very famous tool out of all these things is Informatica, right? You know, ETL Informatica tool. Okay, even it is compatible with this one. It is compatible with this one. Okay, and Matillion tool, so which we are going to cover in this course. So Snowflake can talk to this Matillion tool as well. Snowflake can talk to SnapLogic as well. Snowflake can talk to Talent as well. Snowflake can talk to StreamSets as well. This is very old tool actually. Okay, so what not if it can talk to any of the ETL tool. Nowadays, this is also become very famous. DBT, data build tool. Okay, so like that you can connect with any of the partner. So all these ETL tools are all these people are they're partnered with Snowflake. They can integrate or they can talk to Snowflake very easily. So you see, Snowflake is a third-party software, right? It's a third-party, I can say, cloud database. Okay, so I have my own ETL tool. So that third-party, like Snowflake, cannot directly talk with me, right? Snowflake cannot directly connect with my tool. So what I have to do is, I have to establish that connection. For that, I have to write some code to establish that connection, to make both the tools friends. Why? Because I don't know who is Snowflake, and Snowflake don't know what is my tool, and we have to make them friends. For that, we need to have connectors in place. So that connectors they have already built, and they're trying to give it to us. That's it. That is the use of partner connect. Okay, and next help. So here actually you can visit the documentation website from here. So once you click on this one, right, you can see here docs.snowflake.com. This is a beautiful website. They have given each and every topic here. So to understand it more. Okay, so even if whenever you get any doubt, right, in Snowflake, you just need to search here and you need to understand them. So whatever the course whatever the topics I'm going to discuss as part of this course, right? Every single point I've taken from the website on this documentation, every single point. Okay, so once you follow the classes clearly and regularly, right, you don't need to visit the documentation also. Why? Because I've already taken the enough information from the documentation. I'm trying to discuss the same thing in the classroom. Okay, so that is beautiful thing that they have provided to us. Okay, so that we can do with the help. You can visit the documentation website and you can visit the community, you know, right, already. Like whenever you get the doubt, right, or whenever you get the error, right, or issues, right, then you can visit the community and you can post your questions and you can get the answers for your questions, and like you can do whatever you want from here regarding the queries I'm talking. Okay, so that is one thing you can do with help. And one more thing is you can download the we have actually one interface, one client actually, that we call it as SnowSQL terminal, that you can download from here. Okay, and show help panel. So all these activities you can do from here. And next one is notifications. So this will be useful uh, uh, at the time of resource monitor creation. Okay, so whenever you reach 50% of the credits, then you have to get an alert. How do you get that alert? Using this notification, you have to configure this one actually. I'll tell you how to configure, how to get an alert through notification tab. Okay, we'll see it later. And next one is, and the last one is snow site. So once I click on this one, see what you can see here. Continue. See here, this is the interface actually they're trying to give us when I created an account. Okay, so this interface and this interface both are same, right? Sorry, this one. Both are same, right? Okay, so through snow site also you can start executing your queries, or through web interface also, I mean through classic console also you can start executing your queries. Anything is okay. Okay, that is the use of snow site, and this is your username, and this is the role that is associated with your username. Okay, and one more last point is so once you click on this one, sample data, right? So they have given some schemas here: TPCH, SF1, SF10, SF100, SF1000, and weather. Okay, so this is nothing but they have taken the data. This is the sample data they have given us actually. So TPCH is the third-party company actually. So these people, Snowflake people, are trying to take the data from these people, this third-party company. TPCH is the company which provides the dummy data, sample data, I can say. Okay, SF is nothing but a scaling factor. Scaling factor 1. So that means in this schema you can have up to 1 million of 1 million records in the tables, in tables. Okay, here into 10, 1 million into 10, into 100, into 1000. Into 1000. So like that, like more huge volume of data you can see in SF1000 actually. Okay, let's say I'll try to show you here. So how many records are there here in customer table? So we have almost 1,50,000 records are there. Okay. So in TPCH SF1, same customer table you can see into 10 number of records. See here, 1,50,000 into 10. You'll get that number. And if I click on this 100 into 100. One second, guys. Okay, one second. Yeah. So this is the sample data they have given us. SF1000 is nothing but customer 1,50,000 into 1,000. That many number of you can see here. Number of records you can see here. So this is the sample data that they've just given us. You can play around this with this data actually. Okay. This is about overview of Snowflake web interface. Tomorrow I'll show you how to create that, how to connect with the Snowflake account with different clients, and we'll try to start executing some queries tomorrow. Now I'll start like clarifying your questions. You can shoot your questions now. So I'll stop recording here.